live so quick when I haven't even started yet? How you guys do that? Anyway. Alright, so we're going to talk about my new star doll here. I'm gonna show you guys my top 10 dolls in my collection that I told you guys I was gonna do in our last live stream. But if you remember, I said we're gonna put that on hold if I get a new doll before I have time to set that video up for you. So, as I stated, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to explain to you guys about the Star doll and show you some of her details and how she differs from like a regular Barbie doll. Hi, BB's dolls. And this is my Barbie looks, one of my models from Wave 2 that I'm getting tired of her hair like this. So I think I want to make it less curly. I don't know if I want to totally straighten it just yet, or if I want to just loosen up the curls more, because it's already a little bit loose. All I did was like quick dip dye for her. Dip dye. I dipped her hair into the boiling water for a little bit to loosen it. But the reason why I want to make it more straighter is because from the front, her hair to me looks very like a wig. Like, it's so bulky here on the top because she has lots of curls coming up underneath the layer of hair here, that it's bulking up her hair, and to me that just doesn't really look right. So I want it to be a little bit flatter. So I want to see if that'll work for her. So I'm gonna stick her hair in some hot water while we're exploring the Star doll, so we can do something with it. Okay, we'll see if we can get around to getting her hair right during this video. Here, come on, get in there. Don't be afraid of the water. It's just water. Hang on a second, guys, because she over here, she needs to be an acrobat right now so her clothes don't get wet, because I'm too lazy to take her clothes off. Anyway, Mix, hi, what's up? Where do you get your doll clothes? Okay, I'll answer that question. Now I need to buy another Star doll, and same with 2022 Holiday Barbie. BB's dolls, which Star dolls do you have? You know, these guys are a little hard to track down because I don't know if they have specific names. I think they do, but sometimes the listings don't say the actual name of the doll because the people who are selling them, they have them out of the box. Sometimes they're in the box and they're just not paying attention. They don't know what it's called, so they don't label it properly. And then this doll here, look at her. I put her inside of a plastic glove, but this is actually I don't normally do this. I normally put them in like a little baggie, and then I'll put this whole thing into the water to like boil the not boil, but soften the head up. Sorry, my camera doesn't want to turn. But anyway, this is my body donor for her, so I'm gonna stick her in the water too, so she can get her little head softened up a little bit so we can pull it off. But I put it inside of the plastic before I put it into the water so her hair won't get wet, the head won't be wet, and then I can just pull the doll out of the baggie and everything is soft because of the heat from the water. So I'll just insulate the doll in something plastic before I start. When it's a doll, I don't want to get their whole head or their hair wet. Alright, now let me answer these questions. I hate the Star doll body. Me too. And I'm going to show you guys why we don't like their bodies and how ridiculous they are. I have one. Her name is Bonjour. Oh, Bisou is the one that I have too. I have her and I have the black one. And they're like, ugh, I love those dolls. Their faces are so pretty. My Bonjour Bisou, I got rid of her teeth. I should bring her in here. Why don't I have my Star dolls with me in this video? I'm slow. Got all these random dolls in the background. I didn't bring my Star dolls into the Star doll video. Like, Gypsy, what did you smoking today? Oh my gosh, only crack. No, I'm really not. Don't do crack, you guys. It's bad for you. But seriously, I should go get them. Hang on, let me go see if I can. I know where they are already. Let me grab them for you guys. Sorry. Woohoo! Okay, I found them, you guys. I found them. I found them in my crazy hoard stash of dolls. Here is the black one that I have. And I call her Kimbella. This one reminds me a lot of one of my cousins on my dad's side. So I gave her the same last name as my cousin. And then this is the Bonjour Bisou one. And they have rooted lashes, as you can see here. They do have rooted lashes. I don't know if I'm really into the rooted lashes on Barbies, because I feel like they're a little over the top. And sometimes I get really tempted to just pull them out. I've done that with some of my Barbie dolls that have lashes. These ones I kind of just left them alone because I don't do that much with these dolls except display them. So it's not really a big deal. So I left them alone. But as you can see, I closed her mouth up. That's what I was trying to say. I closed up her mouth. She did have an open mouth, kind of like hers, very similar to this. It's not a big, huge, wide grin. But what I love about these dolls, because they have like a older... The vinyl is a little bit older than these new dolls. They're very squishy. So when you're trying to close a mouth, look at how easily I can press her lips together, even though I haven't separated the teeth from the vinyl. See how squishy? That is the dream vinyl when it comes to closing mouths. That vinyl, no problem whatsoever. It's going to just close right up when I get ready to take her teeth out, if I decide to do that. But it's not bothering me right now because it's not that noticeable, so I'm going to leave her alone. She's my only one, unfortunately. Yeah, they're so hard to find. And this particular one, I got crazy lucky, and I found it on eBay. And the person who was selling it, they already had it marked at a very low price. Like with tax, it probably would have came to like 25 bucks. But then I had it on my watch list. I don't know if any other people were watching it, but when they saw I had put her on my watch list, the seller sent me an offer that was like dumb cheaper than what they had it listed for. And then when the total, even including the shipping, came to less than 20 bucks, I would have been so freaking dumb if I had not bought this doll. You know what I'm saying? So when I did, so I had to get her. She's exactly the way she came to me from the seller, with this dress on and with these big clunky shoes because her feet are humongous, and her original body. And then I put her onto the stand for the time being. I want to show you guys how crazy her legs look. Look, like they're like uneven. Like she can't even stand up straight. So I'm gonna take this thing off so you can see her body, because it's pretty interesting. And this is part of the reason why the Star dolls, I feel like they would have been more popular if they had better articulation and better body types, but no. So for those of you who aren't that familiar with it, the Star dolls came from a line of dolls that they fashioned after this game that used to be real big on, I want to say it was on Facebook, but it might have been on some other platforms too. It was like a, you know, those games that everybody used to play back in like the early 2000s, when they would just kind of like you tagged all your friends who were friends with you on social media, so that they would come over and play the game too, so that you would get like more prizes and perks in the game. This was one of those kind of games where you like dress up a so-called Star doll. You know, they're like paper dolls but virtual, and then you dress them, you give them different fashions, and then you level through the game and you socialize with other people who are playing the game. It's very popular amongst women and some men who are into fashion. But if I'm not mistaken, all the characters, were they all, hi, is it Yaming? I'm not sure how to say your name. Hi, hi Minnie G. Did I say hi to you already? It's like, I want to say it was only female characters that you could customize in that game. But maybe they did have male characters. I'm not familiar because I don't remember playing that game. I do remember playing a similar game, but not that specific one. So, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Mick said, OMG, I used to have that one, but my dog ruined her. That sucks. So that's what these dolls were supposed to be fashioned after, and that's why they all have this bizarre stance, because this is the way that the silhouette of those Star dolls looked in the game. They would stand just like this, and they just copied this pose and then gave them faces to match the characters from those games. But when I say no articulation, okay, I mean even less than a stiff body fashionistas, y'all. I ain't even joking. Look at this. Look at this, okay? First of all, without the stand, she can't really like stand up straight because of the way her legs are. One is like off out to the side or something. So she can't really stand up straight. And then her body, like, see how the body is shaped? It's very different from anything you will see in like a regular Barbie. Her legs are super long, like crazy long. They look long. I don't know. Are they actually long? Let me see. Let me see if they're longer than hers. Okay, so this one, this doll, call her Evie. It's short for Eviana, which is Eviana is a girl I used to go to school with, who she kind of reminds me of because she has red hair. She was a little girl. Well, she not. Oh, wow, that's a big difference. Look at that. Yo, look at this. Okay, so right here is where their waists start. And see, their knees are pretty matched up. And she's got like a hole, like you could fit a whole foot underneath. Yeah, it is a difference for sure. So they are a little bit taller than a regular Barbie doll, see? And their bodies are definitely different dimensions. Very unusual looking sculpts. They're nice looking, don't get me wrong. It doesn't look bad. It's just unusual because we're not used to these kinds of sculpted like shapes, bodies that Mattel normally doesn't make them like this. Even with the Model Muse dolls that are already posed, you know, those dimensions are still similar to what you would normally get in like Playline dolls. They just don't have joints. So her waist to me looks really like slender. It's like very like curved in. And then her butt is like sticking out a little bit more than what I normally see in Barbie dolls. And that's how she looks from the back. Let's see. And obviously she's got molded on underclothes. Yeah, it's very interesting, the stance. And then if you want to see her feet, gosh, her legs actually feel kind of rubbery. Like they're kind of, yeah, they feel kind of rubbery. But not rubbery like the old school 90s Barbie's rubbery. A little bit stiffer than that. But just not like regular hard vinyl feels with the hollow dolls. So she's got some, you know, movement able to be, like, I don't even know how to explain this. It's not real movement. It's just, it's a little flexible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, her arms are like that too. Kind of like a squishy kind of a vinyl, but it's still very stiff. And this part is hard plastic. And then look at how far she can bend her legs, guys. Oh, wow. That's very far. How about backwards? Really? Okay. How about outwards? Oh, you are the most flexible model I've ever seen in my life. Good job, STARDOLL. What is this? Why did they even bother? Just why? Just why? Why did they even put anything here? Like, they should have just made one torso piece that just connected all the way from top to bottom. If they're not going to be able to move the legs anyway. I don't even know what the point of that is. The arms move. They have a little ball joint in there so they can pivot and move. But she doesn't have any elbow articulation. There's like no articulation. To me, this is no articulation, okay? And then a little bit her head can pivot, but that's not enough. That's not enough movement for me to consider this an articulated doll. You see what I'm talking about? And her feet are massive. Let me show you how big her feet are. This is what the foot looks like. It's actually a very pretty mold. Like the sculpt of the foot looks nice. And you can see she's got individual toes. I don't know if you guys can see that. So the foot mold is actually really cool looking. High-heeled feet. But her hands are big too. Oh, she's got a manicure. Okay. Interesting. I didn't notice that. She's got pink on her nails. Yeah, this camera does not want to focus on her limbs because it's too busy trying to focus on these faces in the background. Ugh, camera. Why don't you ever listen? Goodness, just do what I need you to do, please. Anyway, it's because I'm live. When I'm not live, I can focus it, but whatevs. I meant to say I have the one with the Paris shirt. I get what you're saying. Oh, the one with the Paris shirt? Yeah. Talking about the STARDOLLs. Is she taller than a tall Barbie? That's a good question. Let's see. Let's see, Mini G. Let's see. We gonna find out. We're about to find out. Alright, here is my tall doll who's got on some boots. Let me take the boots off so we can be fair. Okay, nice try, eBay. You try to sneak your shoes. Nice try. Caught you. I got you. Alright, now, that's fair. Put her on her tippy toes like the other one because she's got feet that can change to flat if I need her to. And let's take off this hat because that's cheating. Alright, stand up straight. Thank you. They're both standing on stands. Is one of the stands taller than the other one? It might be. It might be. Let me take you off the stand because that's not fair. I gotta put them on the same height stand. Let's see. Let's move some things around up in here. We gotta be fair, guys. If we're gonna do a comparison, I can't cheat. You understand what I'm saying? Cannot cheat. Alright, you stand on this stand. Thank you. Appreciate you. You're very, very nice. Thank you very much. Okay, you stand here and you stand here. Now they're side by side even. Okay. Yeah, she's taller. Tall Barbie is taller. That's interesting, huh? Huh. How's that? Where her legs start at? Her hips are right here. It's her hip joint. And then, wow, okay. It's her belly button right here. Wow, that's interesting. She's taller. Okay, yeah. Tall Barbie is taller than the STARDOLLs. Well, now we know. Thank you for the question. That's interesting. Huh. But, of course, I'm not going to keep her on this body because who would? I'm not going to keep her on this body. I don't know. I want to see how easy it is to get her head off, though, because this head is very squishy. I feel like it should just pop right off. Let me see. Am I going to break something? No. I'm not going to break nothing. Look at that. Ooh, I love this squishy head. Gosh, why can't they just make all the dolls like this? Mattel, what are y'all doing over there? Oh my goodness, just make things easy. Why? Just make it easy. Look how easy that was. Can we just do that all the time? I gotta put my doll in heat and do all these acrobatics. Now, I feel like her head is probably hot enough. Let's see. Juke them out of there. Juke them out of there. Thank you. Ooh, squishy. Nice. You very, very squishy. Okay, I'm taking this girl's head off. I can't do it on camera because it takes me longer. Here we go. And the girl I'm talking about is her. I'm using her as a body donor. For her, I believe they're a very similar complexion. So, let's do it. Come on. Get in there. Get in there. Get inside of the hole. Alright, y'all stop judging me. I can feel your judgy eyes, Minnie G. Alright, just stop. Just stop it. Ah, Lord. Alright, so here she is on this head. I mean on this body. Can she move? Is she okay? Are you struggling, miss? Ma'am, are you struggling? Are you alright? Yes or no? Answer me. Gosh. Gotta pry things out of you because you don't want to just answer me when I'm talking to you. Don't you hate when your dolls do that? They just be, just giving you the silent treatment, just staring at you. You asking them questions, they just looking at you. Like, what is your problem? Just answer the question already. It's not that hard. Okay. All right, there she goes with some joints. The color tone for the body seems like a really good match. So I am very happy about that. I'm not going to put her back into the dress that she was wearing because I don't know if I like it on her like that or like that. I do like the dress, though. Let me show you how it looks. It's got like this pretty little print on it. Some kind of design on it. It's very shiny and sparkly. And the colors, these colors look to me like magenta and blue. And I don't know. It kind of like, when I just look at it, it feels like it's purple. But I know it's not really purple. It's the blue and the pink mixing together in my brain that's making me associate this with purple. Because I don't normally like pink. But I like the cut. It's very like, it looks like almost like a Chinese kind of dress. The way that it's cut. It reminds me of like the clothes that my Lunar New Year Barbie was wearing. So I do like this cut. I want to see it on a different doll. I do like the dress. Her shoes are massive. So I don't know if I'm going to use these shoes for any of my Barbie dolls. But maybe some of my other dolls that have funny feet, I can put those on. I'll have to try it out. I don't know. We shall see. Now, her hair needs some work. This hair is very unkempt and kind of just flying all over the place. So I'm going to dip her in the water a little bit. I feel like, I don't even know if my water's hot enough anymore. Let's see. I don't know. I just need it to calm down. I don't need to like straighten it or straight up Barbie Nation it. I don't need to do all of that. But I just need it to be a little more calm. So I'll let her sit in the water for a little bit. Meanwhile, let me see if this girl can come out of the water. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of water going on here. I feel like I'm going to drop something. Y'all know I'm clumsy as heck. I need to find What do I need to find? How come I'm never prepared for these things? How about this? How about this old mask that no one's gonna wear that's made out of cloth? I'm gonna use this as my towel. Ghetto. That's how we do it in a ghetto. All right. Now she's out of the water. We're gonna put her in here so she can dry. See what I'm doing? I'm just dabbing her hair. And I feel like I'm not doing something right here because I feel like I should have been brushing her hair while she was in the water so I could straighten this. But I totally was not paying attention to what I was doing. And I was just worried about dipping the hair. So I didn't straighten it. Like I didn't pull on it while I was hot. That's what I should have been doing to make it straighter, you know. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just... What can I do? Did I waste my boiling water? I mean, I might have. I'm horrible. You guys. I'm all over the place. That's just what I do. This is what you get, Gypsy, for trying to be a professional, okay? That's what you get. Reality done checked you. That's what happened. Let me read your comments real quick. Let's see. I got a comment here that says, Minnie G said, no judgment. Just thinking of how doll customizing conversation taken out of context is hilarious. Right? I love the star doll heads because it's a collector sized head. That's BB's doll saying that the star dolls, that their heads obviously, these heads are like a certain size. And they look very... they don't look playline. To me, they don't look like that. So, you can't go wrong when it comes to that, right? Let's see if her hair is a little bit better since I wet it. Let's see. Let's just see. I'm thinking about, but I'm not sure, if maybe I want to curl this hair. But I feel like I like hair that's a little longer than her hair is. So, I don't know if I'm going to end up doing it. I don't know, because I don't know if I want her to have big hair like that. It already has a little bit of curl to it, but not enough for you to say it's curly. You know what I'm saying? It just has a curl. It's not like curly. There's a difference. You guys know what I mean. There is a difference. Yeah, so it's got to dry, but I want it to dry like flat like this. I don't want it to be poofing up all over the place. Whatever. Girl, we gotta be ghetto up in here because I'm not in my comfort space, like the space that I be filming in. I feel like I'm just filming in random parts of my house, trying to get a feel for where I like to be posted up when I'm doing these videos. Because I be having so much stuff going on. Like, I'm not just doing one thing when I do the videos. I got, like, mad stuff going on at the same time. You know what it is? I hate doing the boiling water thing because I have no patience for it. So when I have to boil water for one doll, I want it to be like multiple dolls that I can kind of work on at the same time. So I don't have to keep boiling water every time I want to do something to a doll. Like every doll that I'm messing with, I got to go and get water for it now. You know what I mean? That's too much work. I'm lazy. I don't want to do all of that. Against your thumbnail, the dress definitely looks purple. Yeah, doesn't it? It does. Okay, I gotta talk about this with you guys. Okay, we got to talk about this while we're waiting for her hair to dry. You want to watch her hair dry? No, don't watch her hair dry, you guys. Yay, let's watch hair dry together. Good live. Nah. What I wanted to talk about with you guys is the Naturalistas dolls. Okay. On purpose, I have done almost no research on these dolls. Like when Lamely came out, when Pretty Girls came out, when we call them things, Fresh Dolls came out, I feel like I felt obligated as a doll tuber and as a doll community, I guess you can call it an influencer if you want to use that word, but whatever the hell. People be asking me my opinion about stuff. So I felt compelled to do my research and learn as much as I could about like the backstory of the dolls, the company, the people who designed them, all the information I could find, you know what I'm saying? And then when the products were released and I handled the products, other than the Pretty Girls dolls, I feel like almost all of the non-Barbie new companies that were releasing dolls, I wasn't feeling them, right? Lamely, I couldn't even bother to try Lamely because I just knew I was gonna hate her and it was just pointless. But it's just nothing. Hi, Inkpad. None of it was inspiring enough for me to feel like I have to keep collecting those dolls or take the doll line seriously, if that makes sense, because they're just not competing with Barbie. And for that reason, I felt like I'm not doing all of that with these Naturalistas. I'm not going to do all this research and find stuff out about the backstory of the freaking doll company, who owns it, who's designing it, yada, yada, yada. What's up?
No playing anybody's music when you do these videos no more.
I know, I'm not.
Okay. You can play your music. You can't play. That means watching TV. You can't play music.
I don't have anything on.
But in the future,
I know.
At your back end, you can't have it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
Like, you're not in trouble, but it's
no, I know, you're reminding me.
It's messing with the money.
I feel you. I didn't. Okay. I haven't had music in like 7 videos.
Let's make it
8.
Let's make it 700.
7.5.
I haven't had music in 700 videos.
Off to a great start. Anyway, yeah, so I felt like I should not waste my time and my energy doing all of that with the Naturalistas dolls, because I might just end up regretting it. And if I don't end up regretting it, then I have time to learn all of that stuff later, right? So that's kind of what I was thinking. So I didn't do any research on these dolls other than see pictures of them online. And the first batch of people who have gotten these dolls in person, now they're starting to make reviews. Now they're showing their dolls in person so we can all see what they look like and how they handle. I never thought to use a toothbrush as a hairbrush. What a great idea. I feel like it's more versatile with the toothbrush because it's like long, so I can maneuver it a little bit better. And it works good with curly hair too, because the brush bristles. You know, I don't know, but I don't know how many of you guys have ethnic identities or genes, but like those of us that are mixed with really any kind of curly gene race, curly hair gene race, or that are black, like we can't really use regular brushes on our hair because the curls will get damaged when we're brushing our hair in its natural state. So like with this kind of bristle, because it's a lot like the kind of bristles we use in our hair, you can kind of tame the hair a little bit better without pulling on the curls when you're dealing with curly hair. So I like the brush because it makes it kind of easier for you to do both hair textures. You're not supposed to be brushing curly hair anyway, but you understand what I'm saying about the flyaways. Like you can kind of tame them easier when you wet it and you brush them out a little bit. So that's what I use the brush for. And it helps to make the hair like real flat. Like you can brush the hair down flat to the doll's head with that kind of bristle. So the toothbrush works for me, and we use toothbrushes on our baby hairs too a lot. So like in real life, real hair. So it works pretty good. I know I don't even like to put music on any of my videos either, because at that point in time they could decide that they want to copyright. Yeah, they're so annoying with the freaking monetization stuff. Ugh, give me a break. It's like, bro, relax. You should be flattered that I'm using your music. But whatever, I don't care. Anyway, I don't pay attention to that stuff. Adonis does all the back end stuff over here. Like he monitors all of the I guess the boring stuff, if you want to. I don't even know how monetization works. I don't know how you like set it up. I don't know how to do any of that, and Adonis knows how to do that stuff, so that's what he does for me on the channel. But he pays attention to that stuff, so he'll be like, yo, did you know that this video got striked, or this one can't be monetized? And I'll be like, you know what I mean? It be like that. What can I say? So Naturalistas, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, so I started to watch some of the reviews, and goodness gracious, some of these folks, I mean, big up to the people that are brave enough to just keep it real when it comes to these dolls, and don't just be like praising everything they see just because it's new. Thank goodness for those people, because those people are helping others to not waste their time and their money. I'm telling you right now. I watched a review specifically that I thought was really good. Goodness, I wish I could remember what the name of the channel was, but the reviewer, I want to say, was a black person, and they were going in. Like, they were really going in, And guys, I mean, I don't think they were trying to be funny, but I was watching this review just cracking up, like just dying, like in laughter, because it was so ridiculous. I was like, really? Are you serious? Really? Like, if you're gonna make a doll that's supposed to be representing natural hair and Black Lives Matter and all of that stuff, do it really good. Especially your first release, you need to make a splash. Like, you need to make a real good first impression. If your quality falls off a little bit later on down the line, you know, at least you have that first wave to kind of carry your legacy for a while. But bro, you gotta be doing something. Like, what is happening in America? I swear, we do not have standards up in here. I mean, these are toys. They should be, the quality should be there. Because if I'm getting it for my kid, especially if I'm getting it for my kid, I want my kid to get something out of this. You know what I mean? I don't want them to just be out of my hair for a couple of minutes and then they just lose interest in the item. No, I want them to cherish it and feel like how I felt about my dolls when I was growing up. I really took good care of my dolls. Like, they were like little people to me. I thought they were my friends, you guys. Oh my God. I always joke and tell people that I used to have imaginary friends, but they weren't imaginary. They were real. They were my dolls. They talked to me. And they always kept my secrets. I would tell them all my innermost thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, Rojas, you're so pretty. I want to be pretty like you. Ooh, your hair is soft. I want soft hair like yours. Oh, Rojas, you are so cute. And I want to be cute just like you. But I don't have no friends because they think I'm a weirdo. But you're my bestest, prettiest, cutest little friend. Roja, I love you. That's what I used to do. And then in my head, she'd be like, girl, don't worry. You cute. You cute too. And if I could move, I will brush your hair too. And I will hug you too. And I'll be your friend forever and ever and ever. And I never go no place. Love you. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying. So, as a child, I would be having these dialogues with my little Dolly friends. And sometimes you are me and you're my whoever I want you to be today, my sister. And I'm just taking all of my frustrations out and saying, hey, sis, how come you always boss me around? How come you're so mean to me? Why don't you be my friend? Why you always tell your friend you're embarrassing me and I'm a weirdo? Why do you treat me like this? I'm sorry. I love you. You're the bestest sister in the whole wide world, and I'm a dummy. I don't know why I treat you like that. I'm just jealous. I just think you're prettier than me. That's all. Does it show? Okay, I feel better now. That's what I would do with my dolls. It's therapy. Oh my God. My sister hated my dolls. She did not want to play dolls with me. Ugh, she's horrible. She's a horrible person, guys. She's a horrible person. Anyway, she deprived me of a good childhood. Screw my sister. Seriously, how ironic though, because my sister's daughter now loves dolls and my daughter doesn't like to play with dolls. Isn't that strange? Anywho's in. What's wrong with me, you guys? Why do you guys let me do this? Why do you guys let me just rant like this and don't even make no damn sense? How can I maintain curly hair? By not doing anything to it. That's the best way to maintain curly hair. I would say every once in a while to freshen the curls up. Kind of like how I just did with that one doll that I don't know what happened to her. I think I just ditched her because I gave up. But yeah, if you dip the hair in the hot water, if it's the kind of texture that can handle it, of course, it will kind of loosen it up and like make all the kinks easier to tame, and you can kind of, you don't have to comb them out, I guess, but you want to like use your fingers to kind of just like, pull through the hair to make sure that it's not getting all tangled up. But even with afro texture hair, if you have Barbies, the saran that they use for that hair nowadays is so soft that it looks really, really curly, but you can actually comb through that hair. You can use a brush and comb through it if you need to, and then just dip it in some water and the curls will pop back in. So it's not that hard to do, and just don't like pull on the hair with a comb, that's all. But that's how you'll maintain the curls and they'll stay put. The curls won't just like brush out or get all tangled up and crazy. That's why hair quality is so important, and that's why I don't understand freaking Naturalistas dolls. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at these reviews and like the quality of the hair, the way that the people are describing the material that's being used for the hair, subpar. I'm like, bro, if the whole marketing point of this doll is its hair, and it's natural hair, which is natural is just the term that black people use to describe their natural hair texture, the coarseness of that hair, the very tight curls, the coils, you know, they have different number letter combinations to describe how tight the curls are. 4C, 3A, 2B, whatever. So like it's a whole culture surrounding hair with black people, right? And many different kinds of curl patterns that we have. So they're trying to basically market these dolls based on that, how it's realistically depicting black people's hair in all these different textures. That's awesome. That's great. We love the concept, but can we execute this in such a way that that's actually what we're getting? Because when I seen these dolls that these people done pulled out their boxes, I just was like, you can't be serious. Like, this cannot be a real thing. This got to be a joke. How am I supposed to present this to my child so they can be proud of their hair? And like the doll's hair is like coming out in clumps. Ugh, I can't, y'all, I can't, I cannot. And I just was like, no, I can't. I cannot. I can't take it serious. Then on top of that, the faces of the dolls, I'm just like, bro, listen. It's too much work. I don't want to have to do all this changing and customizing and reroute. I heard people say, oh, I'm going to just reroute her myself. How? Why? Why do you have to do all of that when that's what you paid for? You paid for what you're trying to market to me. You know what I'm saying? You're marketing this thing to me as curly hair that's like black people's natural hair. That's why I bought it. Now I gotta reroute it myself because you didn't even execute it correctly. Like, how is that fair? That's outrageous to me. I cannot believe it. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, the head, they were saying that the head was very hard. Like, see how Integrity Toys, there's no give. I'm trying to squeeze her head. It's like a brick. Like, no, that's not happening. You got to heat their head up in order to remove the, there's no give whatsoever. See how I can squeeze her head? None of that when it comes to this. But that's okay, because most people are not trying to remove their Integrity Toys dolls from their bodies anyway. You understand what I'm saying? They already come with joints. They're already very, very sculpted, beautiful bodies. So most people leave their Integrity Toys just the way that they come. They're not the kinds of dolls that people are like going out of their way to reroute it, restyle it, do the face-ups over again. Not really. They're kind of like, you get them as is, pull it out the box, throw it up on your shelf, ready to go, right? So we expect that from an Integrity Toys doll or dolls like that. Even Barbie, you know what I'm saying? Barbie, yeah, we do customize them, but that's not the point is not to try to customize it. The point is to enjoy the doll the way that the doll comes, right? Naturalistas, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But instead, you went and did something else. The body is stiff as hell. They ain't got no joints. And the face is like just mediocre to me. Like, to me, their faces are not super cute to the point where I'm like, I gotta have that face in my collection. There's nothing compelling about their faces that make me feel like that when I look at them. This is my opinion. They're not ugly. They're just bland. And I'm like, on top of that, the hair is very, very low quality. And it doesn't even look like in the pictures. Like, I was looking at this person's dolls. I really was, I'm telling you, I'm not joking. I was laughing the whole time because I was like, this can't be real. This cannot be a real serious line. Like, I can't even give this to my kid because my kid will be looking at me offended. Like, you could have just got me a Barbie doll. Why did you give me this? Like, this is too high maintenance. What am I going to do with this doll? You know what I'm saying? The hair just looked like total, like all uneven, stringy. I couldn't even tell what the texture was supposed to be. It was very confusing. Like, one of the dolls that I saw, I think her hair is supposed to be like an afro texture, but on camera, that hair looked at like, yeah, you making me talk ghetto and everything. I said it looked at like, that hair, girl, let me tell you how that hair looked at, okay? That hair looked at like, man, black people know what I'm talking about. You know when the hair has been relaxed too much and now it's like damaged and frizzy and the ends are starting to like mess up on you, like it's thinning. That's how the hair looked. And it's supposed to be like big hair. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, no. You guys don't know what you're doing. No. I can't. I have standards. I just can't. I couldn't do it, you guys. That's why I'm glad that I didn't do any extra research on that company, because I don't want to be biased. I want to judge the product for the product. I don't want to be like, I'll give you a pass because you're a black owned company and I have to support you because I'm a black person. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're a Chinese owned company, a Korean owned company. I don't care what you are. If you don't have a product that's worth my money, I'm not gonna buy it. That's just what it is. You're gonna have to prove to me that it's worth the money I'm spending on it. You see what I'm saying? Certain things where like the quality doesn't really matter that much, yeah, I'll support you. You want to sell me some chocolates? Okay, whatever. I've had better chocolate, but okay, I'll support what you're trying to do. But no, if you're trying to compete with some Barbie dolls, you gotta compete. I can't just give you my money because you standing here, because you wouldn't do that for me. Right? I can't just demand people throw money in my face because I'm giving them any old doll. I gotta give you something that's worth the money that I'm telling you to throw in my face. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I have to take a sip. Gwen Martin said, we understand. Thank you for understanding my insanity. Inkpad said, is that redhead the head swap that you did for the latest holiday Barbie? It isn't. It's a completely different redhead. So the one that I'm using for her body donor is one I just took out of a box. And then this one that I was trying so successfully to loosen her curls up. Wow. I feel like I just made it more curly. Good job, Gypsy. Anyway, that one is a completely different one that I had. Just she's the one that's part of my regular collection, basically the one that I named, the one that I took out the box, and she's just taking up a space on my shelf. And her name is Merida, because I named her after Merida, the character, the cartoon character. Let's see, what does this say? Gwen said, I know I had the same issues as a kid and sometimes as an adult too. I know, I still be talking to my dolls all the time. Minnie G said, Dolly friend life is real. Data thread sorceress. Hi, how's you doing? That's the mistake I made with Barbie curly hair and had to buy another one. I feel you, bro. Sweet Earth. Hi. I use a fork carefully on my natural hair dolls. That's a good idea too. There's a lot of different things you can use on the doll's hair. It's just you don't want to be raking through it with like teeth that are very, very close together, because that's gonna pull on the curls and mess them up. Oh, hi Janine, my little boo-boo. I had to pull out my little Mari sculpt over here for you because I remember you saying that you like Mari as one of your Asian go-to face sculpts, that you like that better than Kira. And I was like, oh snap, there goes my Mari. Let me pull her down and let her hang out in the videos with us today, so I can share her with Janine if she's in the live. I call this one Nana. Nana is a character from the show that I freaking love, Girl from Nowhere, on, what did I watch it on? Netflix, I think. It's a Thai show. And the main character is like this psycho named Nano, who, it's a long story. Y'all gotta watch the show. They have English dubbed voices on that show. So if you want to watch it in English voice, it's just as enjoyable as watching it in Thai and reading the subtitles. I hate reading subtitles, so I don't be bothering. But when the show first came out, when I first started watching it, I watched it with the subtitles. And then later I realized they had the audio in English, so I switched and then watched the whole series over again in English, and it's bomb either way. It doesn't take anything away from the show to watch it in English. So I would highly suggest that show if you're into like creepy kind of shows. It's a good one. It's fun too. It's like, it's weird. I don't know. Asians are very funny when it comes to their horror genre. They don't do it like how we be doing it, okay? They have different kinds of themes going on that in American culture probably doesn't even make any sense, but like a lot of it takes places in schools because people spend so much time in school in Asia, so it makes sense that a lot of our shows take place with that setting. When we have like teenagers in the shows, it's not a whole lot of like in American shows, kind of like iCarly. You see a lot of, like, think of like Disney show, like a lot of the kids are kind of on their own. They're just by themselves all the time. There's no parents. They're just unsupervised. You know, they're always by themselves in their house, like adults. Like, how are you guys paying for all of this stuff, you know? Have access to all this technology. It's not like that. Like in Asian shows, the parents are always there in the background doing something. Like they're there, the presence of the family and the parents are there. And the kids are going to school. They're not always like skipping class and hanging out in the hallways. They're in the class, like, and having lessons and doing homework and taking exams. They're being students, but then also things are going on in their social life that's affecting them. So it's very interesting to see that dynamic with the Asian shows. And I love to watch the Thai stuff because I'm very familiar with Korean culture, but I'm not as familiar with some of the other Asian cultures. So I find it fascinating when I see things that we have in common that we do, and then things that are very different that is like, wow, you guys do that over there? Like, I used to think all Asians use chopsticks, but they don't. There's a lot of different countries in Asia that I feel like most of them don't use chopsticks. But because I grew up using chopsticks, and Japanese and Chinese people whose cultures are a little bit more mainstream, they do regularly use chopsticks as part of our utensils at like everyday food. You know what I'm saying? Everyday meals. I just thought it was standard that all Asians use chopsticks. So when I met like friends of mine, who, like my Filipino friends, they don't use chopsticks. And I have so many Filipino friends. And I remember thinking, like, why don't you guys know how to use chopsticks? What do you mean show you? How do you not know, right? Oh, duh, because they don't use chopsticks in their country like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just thought that was so interesting. And I love that. I love learning about other people's cultures, the differences and the similarities. It's a lot of fun. If you have to fix a doll that you buy, why are you even buying it in the first place? Thank you, Inkpad. I don't know. And there's a different, sometimes, guys, there are dolls that we are like, oh, I want to get her and do this with it and do that with it. Like this one. I knew I was going to take her out off the body. I knew I was going to have to give her a little makeover. I bought her with the intent to do that, but that's a one-off. That's not every single doll that you're adding to your collection you got to do that with. That's for one. For two, this doll is not a brand new doll that just came out yesterday. That's all the hype. You feel me? When she was brand new, I didn't get this doll. I didn't get none of the dolls in that line. In fact, all of my star dolls are secondhand dolls. Like, they were all so-called used by other people, other collectors, and I bought them from eBay secondhand. I got these two together, so I kind of like think of them like they're sisters. They came from the same seller, obviously, and I think I paid $50 for the both of them and a furniture set that was like a little office set, and it came with everything. Like, it came with the table, the chair. The chair had like wheels on it. It like moved around for real. I think I spray painted everything and like customized it and everything. And then it also came with a bunch of little like props, little decorations. It came with a sofa. It came with just a bunch of different like furniture items that would go inside of an actual office, right? And the dolls came dressed, and both of these dolls had articulated bodies when I got them, but I just didn't like the kind of bodies they had, so I ended up putting them on Made to Moves. But they did have joints. The person who owned them before me had already rebodied them. And I think this one, the person changed their eye color, because normally this doll has brown eyes, but mine has green eyes. It's kind of hard to tell because my lighting, and because you have to like get under these eyelashes to actually see them good. But originally this doll, I'm pretty sure, has brown eyes. So all of my star dolls are secondhand dolls, and for secondhand dolls and cheaper dolls, clearance dolls, I can see someone saying, okay, I'm gonna buy it too customized, too one of a kind it, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm getting a doll that's all the hype right now, like some Rainbow High doll, and then I gotta Frankenstein her, take the hair out, like, that's extreme. That's too much. Rebodying a doll is one thing. I gotta change your hair. That's not a regular level skill that the average doll collector even has. I gotta learn how to reroute just for this one doll because her hair looked crazy. Like, what? And then your selling point is the hair, and it's still subpar? I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. Y'all should have used better quality hair for that. At least if the hair looked a hot mess, but it was like good saran hair, you can manipulate the hair so you can style it and get what you need to get out of the hair without damaging the fibers and just getting frustrated, Like, this hair is not the same kind of texture as Barbie doll hair. Integrity uses some type of saran, but I'm telling you, it don't feel the same as even like the straight hair that I have on my Integrity Toys dolls. Their hair texture feels a little different than theirs. I'm not going to say it's worse, but it feels different, but it's still good quality. So you can manipulate the hair as you need to, I was just waiting for the Walmart special one and the fashion packs. You're talking about the redhead, right? This one. Right, Mini G? Are you waiting to get this doll? Has anybody checked to see if this doll is available on Walmart.com yet? Because she keeps going in and out of stock when I was looking for her, and like we caught her like right at the right time, and that's how we ended up with one. Adonis wanted me to get like 2 more, but by the time I had ordered this one, the other 2 were impossible because it was already out of stock. Okay. I found some at Target. I was sad because I just wanted to get the fresh doll next to it and do a mashup doll. This is Minnie G talking. Hi, Kaleda. Hi. Okay, so Janine said, oh, thank you, Gypsy. I currently have 2 Mari sculpts. The rare Mari from Generation Girl and Lunar New Year. Yeah, mine is Lunar New Year. No, she's that same one. I love her. I feel like, I don't know if I want to add more Maris to my collection anytime soon, unless I always be saying that, and then some new doll will come out and I'm like, oh. That's why I end up with so many skippers anyway. But she has a very pleasant face. Something about this sculpt, I don't know, this is one of those sculpts that remind me a little bit of like the way I described this one, where she's kind of like cute but also pretty at the same time. That's kind of how I feel about this sculpt. It's like a very like understated kind of prettiness, and her face features, like the sculpt itself is a little bit unusual because I feel like she has like a really big forehead but not in a distracting kind of a way, you know. I don't know, does that sound weird? Like, she would look cool with bangs too because she has a huge forehead, but it's not like a weird huge forehead that looks strange. It works for her face. But I do like this particular one with like the Asian look, and she looks so like innocent, but also I don't know how to explain it. I just like the vibe of this doll, and I love her side glancing eyes. I'm such a sucker for like red hair side glances. My favorite is the upper side glance, like it's looking up into the corner. And I have which one of my dolls does that? I want to say my FAO Schwartz toy soldier doll. I think she looks up into the corner but her eyes are like side glancing, and it just looks so playful and cute. I love that. Who else is side glancing? I think this one is too. Let me see. Are you? I think both of my poppies are side glancing poppies. I think so. Yeah, she is too. She is definitely side glance. Yeah, I love it though. I like the side glance. I think it makes him look a little mysterious. Sometimes it doesn't really work. It depends on the sculpt. But like some dolls, you make them look like they look into the side, and they just look they look like they're not paying attention to anything, you know, especially when you're trying to take pictures of them. But some of them, it gives them character. I haven't actually touched a Naturalista. I almost wanted to give them a pass because they retail for 13 bucks, but Fashionistas retail for $10, and their hair is pretty decent. Thank you, Ink Pad. You took the words right out of my mouth. And that's the thing. Like, I don't want to be looking at a new doll brand and keep giving them excuses for why their quality is subpar, especially if you're going to have all this hype surrounding your product. Like, you need to deliver. You know what I'm saying? So people have been waiting for those dolls to drop. And some people, I feel like they pre-ordered them. Like, they really like had them on their radar. Like, they were saving money and time and energy to track those dolls down so they can make sure they had them based on those promo shots. The promo pics made them look like, okay, I'll risk $13. But I'm telling you, I'm so glad that I waited until people actually had them in person to look at them before I make a decision on whether or not I want to actually spend real life money on those dolls. Because I'm sorry, my husband works too freaking hard for me to be wasting his hard-earned money on my plastic people and then just throw her in a garbage can 5 days later because I'm just not interested. I don't want to do that. And I mean, I don't throw them in garbage cans. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to stuff you in a drawer and just forget about you because you're boring me. I will get bored. I don't want to do that. So I got to think strategically about what I'm adding to my collection, you know? That also reminds me of the Disney dolls. We got to talk about that too. The Mattel Disney dolls. Oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on. Janine said, bought one Naturalistas thus far, not knowing the hair quality. It was definitely a mess. And the holiday Barbie is not back, sadly. Ugh, that sucks. I hope closer to the holiday season, though, they do restock this doll en masse. Like, I really hope so. So a lot of people can get her, because this doll is a must-have in your collection. Who knows when they'll ever use this face sculpt again for a doll that we can actually afford to purchase. It's still pricey to me, $45 for this holiday doll, just because most people who get her, they're not going to get her as a holiday statue. They're going to get her so they can do this. They can customize the doll, put her on some articulated body, redress her, and turn her into just a regular girl in their, you know, Dollyverse. Most of us are going to end up getting her for that reason, just because of how exclusive that head sculpt is. Even if they get 1 or 2 extras to keep in the box or keep on the actual body that she comes with. But it's just one of those things where it's like, girl, you better get on it when you could get on it. You better stalk whatever website you got to go to get that doll. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully around Christmas time, I pray that they do that and they don't try to play this doll like how they did the Barbie Lux first wave of dolls. Like, nobody could get their hands on it. Ugh. I hope that's not what happens with this doll. I really do. I hope this is just a phase, because she's kind of like, it's like an early release. It's not close to Christmas yet, but they already released the dolls, you know? Come on, Mattel, get it together. It's a cute and sassy sculpt, and my collection generally trends towards cute faces over more mature and sexy. Yeah, that's why I think Mari really works well for that look, if you're into that look. And Minnie G is agreeing with you. So let's get on these Disney freaking princess dolls that Mattel call themselves releasing. So many people have been asking me about it. What do you think? Are you gonna get them? Do you want them? Yada yada yada, because I'm always talking about how I'm looking for Ariel and I have not found the right Ariel doll yet. So I want to see how he looks with this shirt. I like this shirt. I like it. It's very islandy, but not like in a corny way. It doesn't look like, you know how, I don't know, sometimes these like island print shirts kind of throw me off because they look like an old golfer would wear it, you know. I don't know, it just looks kind of daddish. when I think of these shirts, I don't know that many single men who are trying to attract women that wear these shirts. So I don't really like them, like in real life, I mean. But this particular one with the black background and the flowers, to me, is a little more tolerable, and the colors look okay together, so I'm with it. Let's see if he looks cool in this shirt, or if he looks like he needs to go home and take a nap, think about his life choices, try again. Poor guy. Okay, let's see, Legend. Let me see how you looky in this shirt, okay? Let me see if I want to rub you or if I want to snuff you. Let me see. Minnie G said the other versions of the holiday Barbie have been creeping into Walmarts around here, but it looks like each store is only carrying one version. Whack. Whack. I feel you, bro. Uh-oh. My time is almost up, y'all. Real quick, though, we're going to talk about these freaking dolls, okay? We're going to talk about these dolls. Now, my opinion about, obviously you can tell from the way I started this conversation, is that I love the Disney Mattel. No. I think they suck. I think they suck ball sacks. Like, am I allowed to say that on YouTube? I just think they suck. If you're into sucking ball sacks, then these dolls are the ones for you, okay? And I'm not judging. Some people love to do that, so that's what's up. But if you feel like, yeah, they too salty, this is not really my flavor, I'm not really into ball sacks. If you're not into that, you know what I'm saying? Not in your mouth. Maybe you'll just play with them, just look at them, but not in your mouth. Then you might be like, I don't know about this, Mattel. I don't know what y'all trying to do, but y'all playing yourselves right now, okay? How much are those freaking dolls? I just want to know. How much are they? They should be less than $10 each. Because as an adult collector who takes my collection seriously, you're playing with me, right? I hate when they have all this hype over a certain doll line or like a specific release of something, and then you see it and you're like, that's it. That is it? Oh, Mattel, you must think I'm stupid. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, right? Hang on, you guys. And let me go grab my charger because I'm about to have technical difficulties if I don't. Is there a charger I can use real quick? Yo, I need somebody's charger. Sacrifice it right now. I see one. So, can I get... Gene, why need you to help me? Can you rig me up with the extension cord? Because I don't know where the cords are in your room. And I don't want to knock anything over. Merci beaucoup. Okay. Let's try this again. Thank you. And I need you to steal me a block. Jackson, bring me a block. Bring me... Oh, no, I don't even need a block. I can just put it in here. Oh, that's nice. You tell me when it's plugged up so I can check to make sure. Yeah! Throw it all on the ground. That's where I like it. Somebody's calling someone. Jaxie. Poppy Parker is the best doll builder. Hi, Viola. No, I'm almost done. Poppy Parker, yeah, I love Poppy Parker. She's really pretty. Actually, Poppy Parker is my favorite face sculpt in the whole widest world. My favorite face. I think she's so... I don't know. She's just very... Thank you. She's very sultry and like old-timey almost, but also not. Also very modern, like classic, timeless kind of a face. And just, I don't know what it is about this mold. She's very feminine and like girly and womanly, but she's not like a cute little kid, you know? But depending on how they style the Poppy Parker dolls, they can seem cute depending on how they put it together. So I just love all of them. Every single one I've ever seen. Like any picture of a Poppy Parker I've seen, like instantly I'm like, yeah, I'm in love. I just love you. Ugh, you're so amazing. Just why? Can I marry you? Can I marry you, Poppy? Can I? Are you gonna answer me? Poppy, I asked you a question and you just sitting here looking off to the side once again. You see what I'm talking about? See what I gotta deal with? Whatever. Ugh. Thank you. Thank you. Viola, thank you. Yeah, so those dolls, he's so cute in this shirt. I like the shirt on him. Wow. You cute. You cute. You got a girl? Let me find out. You alright. Go stand over there because you distracted me with your beauty. Anyway. Nobody else comes on to their dolls. It's just me. It's just me. I'm the only person that be flirting with their dolls. Like, damn. For real? Wow. Y'all trying to play me. I know I'm not the only one. I know I ain't the only one. Okay? I flirt with all my dolls. I be like, oh, you cute. You sexy. Where you going? Where you get that outfit from? What is my problem? I need Jesus. All right. I'm actually a fan of the dorky Hawaiian shirts that come with some of the fashionistas. Yeah, some of them are cool looking. I'm talking about in real life. In real life, when I see like men just walking around wearing them shirts, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because they're not really like fitting on the guy very well. That's why I always like associate them with dads. Like they got a pot belly that they're trying to hide, so they just wear these like big loose shirts with lots of prints all over them and hope you're gonna be distracted by that or something. But that's not distracting enough, bro. Like I can tell you got a belly. Just relax. Just own it. Just own your dad bod, okay? It's okay. Just be yourself. That's all. He's cute. He's so cute. I want to put you. Anyway, have you ever considered using Fison bodies? I have. I'm very curious about Fison dolls, and I just have not found the right combination of head and body to venture into the Fison world, but they're so on my radar, and they're a little bit, something about the Fison proportions is a little off to me when I look at them, but at the same time, I feel like I could still find one that I really like, that I won't be distracted by whatever it is about their proportions that kind of throws me off a little bit. I feel like it's like it's something with the arms and the hands. Like something there just doesn't seem quite right. Like the wrists are too wide or too big or something. I don't know what it is, but something about right like from the elbows down, something about it just distracts me a little bit. I don't know, maybe it's the hands, the size of the hands maybe, but something there just doesn't quite look right to me. But because the bodies are so versatile and they're very well jointed, I so want to actually like see in person how they feel and what they're like, and experiment with them. I just haven't found one where like I like the face that comes with the body, I guess. So I don't know, but maybe I'll try with the males first instead of the females. But I'm definitely interested in them. Janine said, I like a good Hawaiian shirt. Inkpad said, yeah, because they're always the one that wears the long socks with sandals and grosses me out. I know, right? And out here in Washington, it's a very Hawaiian culture out here because so many Hawaiians live here. They move from Hawaii to Seattle area, or like just anywhere in Washington, because it's way cheaper here for them than over in their own islands. I know, that sounds crazy, right? Yeah. Can you imagine? White people, y'all done did it again. Y'all done went over there and drove all the prices up. So the locals can't even live in their own damn state because they can't afford it. They cannot afford to live in their own state. That's crazy. That's like their home. That's really their country if you think about it. Hawaii is like another country, you guys. Some of you guys are not from America, so I know this sounds crazy, but all of our 50 states, even though they're considered part of the United States, like it's part of this country, but some of the states, like Hawaii, for example, Alaska, for example, and even Puerto Rico. It's not an official state, but you know, if you're an American, you can just go back and forth to Puerto Rico as much as you want, and so can Puerto Ricans. They can come over here. They're considered like American citizens, basically. So it's part of America, legally speaking, but culturally speaking, not really, because they have their own separate cultures, their own language, and they started off as their own independent countries until we went in there and took over everything. So it's sad when I see that, because I'm like, wow, that's messed up. That is so messed up that you guys can't just enjoy your country, your state, as you should, because we done went there and messed everything up for you. It's sad, but I ain't complaining about all the fly ass Samoans and Hawaiians I be seeing around here, because they are good looking and I just like looking at them. So I ain't gonna complain, but you know, it's just sad to see that. But we see so much of that culture around us a lot. The way people dress and the way people talk, the way they eat. It's all over the place here in Hawaii. See, I be confusing myself. I think I'm in Hawaii sometimes because when I go outside, it look like Hawaii. The people here. But yeah, in Washington State, there's a lot of Samoans and Hawaiians and stuff out here. Because, wait a minute, Gwen Martin said they're awesome. You can put Barbie heads on them. True, hands are large, but the feet on the TB League are great. Hey, so you're saying you can put Barbie heads on the S.I.S dolls? Because I was wondering about that too, about their, like, the way that the neck knob works and how that would work with a Barbie's head. If that's the case, I might just get a body so that I can match it up with a doll I have and do it like that. Because I have a bunch of floating heads, but then I'm like, well, what about the skin tone? Because how am I supposed to know what skin tone goes with what? So confusing. And I have to do more research. So that's the only thing that has stopped me from getting a S.I.S doll. But I would have been got one already if I knew what I was doing. Erica's Dollhouse. Hello. These bodies collect dirt and dust easily. Okay, so that's another concern that I had too, because of the material that the skin is made out of, if you want to call it skin. Obviously, if okay, so S.I.S dolls, they have a endoskeleton, and that's what's got all the joints, not the actual like doll itself here. It's not like this where the joints are like visible. It's underneath the skin, and the skin is like some kind of silicone type of material, so it's kind of soft, right? So you can move the doll and it looks seamless, like real skin kind of, but it's also going to collect whatever brushes up against it, dust and, like, you know, dirt and little fuzzy things from clothes. It's going to collect that stuff because of the material that it's made out of. So then you have to be careful how you dress it and where you're posing it and all of that stuff. So I get it, and it's to be expected, and they're kind of pricey, so you have to decide if all of that is worth the aesthetic that you end up with when you actually have the doll. With Barbies, we don't really have to worry about that because their skin is smooth, it's plastic, it's hard, so like you can just brush away the dust easily. I feel like with Barbies, the most we have to worry about when it comes to dust is the face, because the vinyl is a little bit softer, and the hair, because dust can collect easily in the hair when you just have the doll sitting on a shelf and not touching it for a while. That's it though. I mean, that's easy to maintain. I don't want to have to just take my doll all the clothes off and do all of this stuff to it. Is it almost dry? Almost. That's a good thing about plastic hair. It dries a lot faster than real hair. Yeah, I like it better like this, like more flat looking, because it was too puffy earlier before I put the doll into the water. And I'm not sure if I'm going to keep her in this silver outfit that she's just got on, because her body donor had this outfit on. I don't know if I want to keep her like this. I'm probably going to take this outfit off of her and change her into something else. Silicone. Don't get plastic. No, it does not do that. $50 is not bad. It's got a steel frame. Yeah, the body on the inside, right? The endoskeleton is made from steel. So it doesn't make like noises. Does it click when you're like moving the body parts? I wonder. It's fascinating. I really do wonder about those dolls. I think I would like them. I feel like I would like them more than I would dislike them. You know, I'm sure that there's something about them I'm going to end up comparing to a Barbie and be like, I don't like this thing about it. Like, I do that with my Integrity dolls. I like them, but I don't like that they don't have double joints. I like them, but I don't like that the boys don't have pivotal necks. What is that all about? Like, I can't do this with my Integrity guys because their necks just will not move like that. And I like doing that. I like tilting the head because it gives the doll more expression depending on the kind of pose that you're doing. You know, you can make them look like they're talking to each other in a conversation and you're listening to the other person and you got your head a little bit tilted. It's more realistic. So for that, I don't like that Integrity toys don't have that feature, but I don't dislike the dolls enough to not buy them. Like, I like more things about them than I dislike about them. I feel like with Fison, I would feel the same way. That's just my prediction. Gwen says, you will love them, I promise. Oh, I'm going to take you up on your promise then. Some are plastic, no noise. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Is it Annika or is it Anika? I don't know. I'm just throwing pronunciations out there. They said, I swapped all the bodies in this line. They are great, as is to style fashions. I never played the online game. The STARDOLLs. I don't have any Naturalistas, and you ain't missing nothing. Believe me, you ain't. They need to try again. Okay, Naturalistas round 2. Let's give this another shot. Can we do this again, please, people? Do it again, Naturalistas. We need to fix this because the hair quality is yikes. Yikes. I feel like, you know what? Screw it. Y'all are not good at making the loose hair textures. So why don't you just give us some braided textures, twisted textures, dreaded textures? I'll take that. I'll take that over the loose hair textures because, come on. Mattel been done did it already. Okay? They been done did it. Anika. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, I feel like Annika has an extra letter in there somewhere, right? So I just feel like I would appreciate that brand a little bit better if maybe they just did something totally different and that's still considered natural hair textures. So it would still work. They would still be Naturalistas, and I would forgive that they don't have joints and they don't have amazing faces, I guess. I guess if you are somewhat of a customizer, I feel like we can circumvent that their faces are boring as hell by just adding a couple more features to the dolls. You don't have to go in, you don't have to go crazy, but maybe change the lipstick colors. Maybe you can add some baby hairs. Maybe you can add some eyeshadow. Maybe you can add a couple of moles or freckles here and there and kind of spruce the doll a little bit, and that will make them a little more interesting looking. You know, maybe she needs a little nose ring. Maybe she needs a little eyebrow ring. But then on top of that, I hear that the Naturalistas dolls are freaking, like, their heads are super hard. So you have to manipulate it with heat before you can even take the doll's head off. Hello. And do anything else with it. And it's like, you want me to do how much work? Do I get paid to be doing all of this work to these damn dolls that y'all should have just did already before I bought it? Like, can you please pay me? Because I don't got time for this. trying to just enjoy the doll as it comes. You know what I'm saying? At least in the beginning. Maybe I'll work my way up to customizing the doll later. Like, but I want to be able to do something with it immediately. You feel me? Immediately. That's what I'm going for. And it's like, who designs these freaking dolls, you guys? Why aren't doll collectors designing the doll? That's why the only one of these new dolls that I had tried out that was all hyped up that I don't regret buying are my Pretty Girls dolls that were designed by an actual doll designer who worked for Mattel, and she knows what she's doing. She knows what we're looking for, and she herself is a doll collector. So it made sense that those dolls were pretty well done, even though there were things about Pretty Girls dolls that I thought were kind of like their bodies. I wasn't a big fan of their bodies. Every single one I had, I took off of their original bodies and I put them onto Barbie bodies. And I didn't like that their heads were a little bit harder. Like their heads, you have to definitely heat them to remove them safely. And that's a lot of work. I don't be wanting to do all of that. But I had every single one that was available except for, I think, the character that's supposed to look like a white girl. And there was a character that they made later that was supposed to be some professional movie person. I don't know, some celebrity. I can't remember exactly who. But y'all know who it was. But other than those two, the other dolls in that line, I think I had all of them. And I don't regret it. I don't look at them now and be like, boring, why did I buy this doll? No, I still love them. I love their faces. They're very pretty. Some of them I think I have displayed, and then some of them I have put away, but at least one of those Pretty Girls dolls I always have on display in my collection. So, you know, I think it was a hit for the most part. For a new doll company, it was a hit. I wish that Stacy was able to continue with that line and broaden it, because I think it could have went somewhere. And she was smart enough to know you have to compete with Barbie, in the sense of, I feel like the best dolls, the new dolls that come out, are the ones that can live, like coexist with Barbie collections. They blend with the Barbie collections. You can mix match their body parts. You can fit the same clothes on them. For the most part, they match the same kind of skin tones that Barbie has available. If you can accommodate the collectors who already are dealing with Barbie dolls, and you can somehow like mesh the two together, you have a success story here. You know what I'm saying? In that way, you're competing. Not competing like my doll is better than Barbie because it can do stuff Barbie can't do. I don't care. I don't care about that. I want to know, can you coexist with my existing collection? Because I'm not going to get rid of my whole Barbie collection to just start collecting your brand new doll that has all these extra things going on that I'm not even used to this. You know what I'm saying? Like Lamely. Like, bro, I want all these stickers that are going to add facial features to the doll. That's not what we're doing over here. I don't want these weird body parts that don't really bend and move the way that I need it to. I don't want this bland looking face that's always staring off into space. I don't even know if Lamely can go onto a Barbie's body correctly, because I've never seen anyone do it. I have never to this day seen a photograph of anyone with a Lamely doll that they Frankensteined with Barbie body parts. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I've never seen that. I've never heard anyone talk about that. It's not even a point of conversation anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Annika. Oh, there's another Annika. Oh my god. And I was so confused because I rarely encounter another Annikas in the oh, that's so funny. Okay, so we do have Anika and Annika. That's interesting. What are the odds? What are the odds of that? That's so strange. That's so cool though. Yeah, I was just thinking about this myself, because my middle name is Cherie, but it's spelled like Sherry on my birth certificate, and my dad always pronounced it Cherie, and I have an aunt named Sherry that he named me after. Hello. Can y'all tell my dad used to drink a lot of alcohol? So on my birth certificate, he spelled it with a Y, Sherry, right? But in my life, he always made me spell it with an I-E, and he pronounced it Cherie. So in my mind, I'm Cherie, but other people still pronounce the name Sherry when they see it, even though it's spelled with an I-E, because Cherie is like, how do you spell Cherie? Like, how do you spell that so that it actually says Cherie? It's so similar to Sherry that it's like, you have to spell it really strange to make it sound like Cherie, where the emphasis goes. And I used to argue with my Aunt Sherry all the time because she would insist that my name was Sherry. And I'd be like, no, it's not. It's Sherry. And she'd be like, no, it's not. It's Sherry. And I'd be like, oh, stop telling me what my name is. Then I looked at my birth certificate and I was like, oh, wait a minute. How did I not know my name is spelled like this? My entire life it's been like this on my birth certificate, and I just noticed this? Like, what a dummy I am. But that's confusing. So I'll go by either. Like, if someone calls me Cherie or Sherry, either one I'll answer to. But in my mind, it's Cherie. And it's so bizarre because my Korean family, they actually call me Seri. That's their name for me, right? When I was a baby, because I grew up in Korea when I was little. So when I learned to talk, I was in Korea. So I'm so used to being called Seri, where the emphasis sounds like Sherry, right? But in English, it's Cherie. So it's like confusing because I'm like, is my name Sherry or is it Cherie? I don't know the difference. Yeah, I have a cousin named Cherie. Is that how they spell Cherie, like that? Yeah, you have to spell it in such a way that it looks like Cherie. You know what I'm saying? So my dad, he spelled it with an IE only to me, but on the birth certificate he spelled it with a Y, and he was just so adamant that I should not spell it with a Y, because that was how he was telling me, apart from his sister, basically. And they did the same thing with my sister. My sister's named after my dad's mom, who's a Dorothy, and instead of Dorothy, he spelled it Dorothy, Dorthy. So we always called her Dorothy, right? But in Korean, my Korean family, they call her Toroshi. Like, they add the extra O sound in the middle, Toroshi, right? We don't have TH in Korean, so it sounds like a sh sound instead of a th sound. So my Korean family calls my sister Toroshi and me Seri. But in English, my dad always said it's Cherie and Dorothy. So it's like confusing. You know what I mean? Whatever. And this is why I just go by a bunch of nicknames, because that's easier. The nicknames, you can't mess up the nicknames because it is what I said it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter how I spelled it. Doesn't matter what's on my birth certificate. It is what I said it was. So just deal with it. Minnie G said, power of phonetics. Yeah, for real. It's very confusing. So Annika and Anika, welcome to this ridiculous life. We welcome you both equally. Okay, they're both pretty names. I like both of those names. I actually knew a Korean girl named Annika. Isn't that strange? What was her Korean name? Her Korean name was something else. It was like Yellen, or like, it didn't even sound anything like Annika. But in English, her name was Annika, and that was her legal first name, was the American name, but her Korean family calls her by her Korean name. So like, I didn't even know what her Korean name, her English name was for the longest. I was like, oh, you have an American name? Because I was always calling her by her Korean name. And I do the same thing with like my cousins on my mom's side. They all have Korean names that I know them by because that's what the family calls them. But a lot of them actually have they have American names as their first names because they lived here or were like born here. So it's confusing. I don't know, but whatevs. Yeah, so anyway, we're talking about, I was trying to tell you guys about the Disney dolls. The Disney dolls, I feel like, oh God, they're such a hot mess. I was watching, who is that on, what is the channel? I was watching Beauty Inside a Box. Excuse me, shout out. He's got a good channel. I love his channel. He was basically breaking down some pictures of the latest release of these Disney princesses that Mattel calls themselves creating. I'm looking at these pictures and I'm like, what is this? Like, why? What are you doing? I understand that they're toys. I understand they're for children. I understand that kids don't really have high standards. But at the same time, they would if we would give them something to actually look forward to, right? If they knew that they could have like isn't Rainbow High doll supposed to be for kids too? But they have really, really great quality. As a kid, if my mom's gonna spend $30 freaking on a doll, at the very least, she better have some nice hair that I can mess around with, change the hairstyle up. That's one of the fun things about dolls as a kid. Like, you're still learning how to groom yourself. You're still learning how to get your own little style together, you know? It's great having dolls with different kind of hair textures and styles. And you can practice doing hair by doing the hair on your dolls. You can practice styling by switching out outfits on your dolls. And it helps you to like learn how to do that stuff for yourself while you're still learning how to groom yourself, style yourself, and get into the habit of doing that. As a child, it's a learning tool. Even though it's something you're playing with, you definitely are learning from play, you know? So if you're gonna make it for kids, I get it, but like, can we keep the quality there? Like, why do we have to get rid of quality and standards just because children are playing with it? And what age are these kids that they think are playing with this stuff? 3? I mean, yeah, some of them are, but some of them are preteens. Some of them are in elementary school. Some of them are teenagers already. It's all ages of children. Children is like from, let's say, playing with toys age is from 3 years old till really until adulthood. There really is no cap, no limit of what age is like you're too old to play. You know what I'm saying with stuff. So if you're keeping that in mind as a company, I feel like you need to be more versatile. Why is this ridiculous quality for these toys that people are getting for their kids? And like, as a parent, I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna get this for my kid because it's crap. It's just a hunk of plastic with eyes and a nose and a mouth drawn on it. Like, ew. Like, I can just make this myself. I can just make this myself. What am I paying you to do it for, you know? Hair is a big thing for me as an adult doll collector. This is Erica's Dollhouse saying that. And you know, most of us, that's true. Even the ones that are really bad at styling hair, we still care about the quality of the hair. And for kids, I feel like it's a huge part, especially girls, playing with these dolls. And of course, any gender can play with dolls, but the majority of the kids that are drawn to dolls are females. And it's just part of our culture to beautify ourselves and groom ourselves and try to be pretty and be, you know, presentable and look nice. And that's what we're kind of simulating with our doll collections. You know, even when we're just playing, most girls play with they don't play with their dolls like, here, let's wrestle. That's not how girls play with their dolls. They're trying to simulate things they see women doing in real. Hey, you want to go shopping at the mall? Like, that's how the kids play. You know what I'm saying? Oh, your boyfriend's cuter than my boyfriend. You know, that's what they're doing. So like, if you know this, you should know how your product is being played with. Why you got these weird products out here trying to hype everybody up like you doing big things, you know? Oh yeah, Mattel, we done got the license for Disney. Yeah, we about to do this. And then you look at the dolls and you're like, that's it? That's what you came up with? Really? Okay. It was so disappointing. So disappointing. Like, the clothes are so just like paper mache. Like, it's just ugh. there's no quality in the clothes. The dolls, I think the biggest pet peeve for me with those Disney dolls that they're trying to do is that their faces don't look right. Their faces don't look like the actual characters from the freaking movies. And I know they know how to do it right because I've seen them do it right before. For example, do you guys remember, like, in the 90s era, we had like a bunch of Pocahontas dolls. We had Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame. We had, I remember seeing like Ariel with like the fish tail, and then she didn't have a tail if you took the clothes off. You know, I remember seeing that as a kid and into my teen years. I remember seeing this. I know I didn't imagine this. And I remember looking at those dolls saying, oh, they're so pretty. Wow, they look just like the cartoon characters. They'd have pictures on the back of the box where you could see the cartoon characters that they were depicting, right? I learned how to braid from unraveling doll's hair. Oh, wow. Janine, you smart. You're very smart. Rainbow high hair, bald spot issues. Ooh, that's not good. That ain't good. That's not good. But the quality of the hair is pretty decent. So when I think about that, and I'm like, this is in the 90s when they didn't even have as much technology as they have now. Now you people have actual 3D technology you can use on the computer to sculpt these dolls' faces and make them perfect. You can duplicate Ariel's face. You can duplicate Cinderella's face. You can duplicate these cartoon characters' faces. If you can duplicate this lady's face, if you can duplicate this real person's face. This is not cartoon faces that they duplicate. These are human beings, actual, real faces. This is Gigi Hadid, the supermodel. This is her face. This is Vera Wang, the designer's actual face that they sculpted and put onto a doll. So if you can do this, nice try, Mattel. I know for a sure fact that you can absolutely duplicate the Disney princesses' faces based on the animations. I know that you can do that. I've seen you do that. You can do it. But y'all just don't want to do it. You just don't want to be bothered. Why? Why? It's not extra work. You don't have to do anything extra if the computer is doing all the work for you. Why would you waste your employees' time sitting there trying to do a freaking face mold of what's supposed to be Cinderella, but it don't look nothing like Cinderella? It's just If they're gonna do the Disney princesses, what I want to see is, okay, you want to do these weird cheap knockoff looking dolls, then do that for the little kids because you think kids don't care. Fine. But also, can you give me a collector version of this that looks like y'all got some sense? Can we do that? Because these Disney princesses that they're duplicating, let's be honest, we grew up with them. They're from our childhood, not these kids now. I can't pay my daughter to watch freaking Aladdin with me. The classic, actual, like the cartoon, they not interested. They got other stuff that they're more, you know, it's more up their alley. They'd rather watch that stuff than these classic princess movies that we grew up with as kids. So those kids are now all adults with their own kids. Like, bro, like, as a parent who grew up with that stuff, I can't, it's like an insult for me to even to buy it for my child. I can't realistically buy her a freaking Snow White doll that Mattel recently made and then be like, yeah, this is Snow White from that movie that I was gonna watch with you. And she's looking at me like, this is Snow White. She don't look nothing like the freaking movie lady. Like, what are you talking about, Mom? I can't even represent right. I can't even get her into it. You know what I'm saying? At least if the doll looks more like the actual movie characters, then it's more of a selling point even for the parents to be like, oh, okay, this is nostalgic. It reminds me of when I was growing up. I want my daughter to experience this. I want my son to experience this. So I'm going to buy this doll so maybe we can share something together. Maybe we can cross generations here. Maybe we can have something to talk about here. No, I can't even do that because who is this lady? She's an imposter. Who are you supposed to be? You Ariel? Really? You Ariel? Okay. But you got blue streaks in your hair? Why? Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense. So I can't take it seriously. They need to do it over again. They need to stop. They need to stop with the hype. They need to stop talking about how amazing they are because they've got this license and that license and this is coming soon and that's coming soon. Just stop. Like, just make it and put it out there and let the product speak for itself. Same thing that they did with these Barbie Looks dolls. They didn't do a whole lot of advertising. They just created the dolls. It was just there. And hey, if you noticed, then you wanted it. If you didn't, then whatever. It is what it is. You know, very little hype over those dolls. The collectors made a lot of hype over it. We were like salivating over it. But the company wasn't like going out of their way to let you know. Like even with the yoga dolls, the first wave of yoga dolls, we discovered them accidentally. You know what I'm saying? Mattel was trying to be all hush-hush about it. Like so mysterious. Like they weren't talking about them. Remember when Yellow Top, she was just showing up on the backs of the boxes, but no one had ever seen her in any of the stores. Nobody could find listings of her. No one knew where to get her. It was a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame. It's a damn shame. It is a shame. Mini G, because Hasbro got away with not doing it and still selling. Yeah, because Hasbro doesn't have a reputation for having high quality dolls in the first place, right? They don't. They have a reputation for being very cheap play line, very, very just basic, the most basic of dolls as far as features. You know, it's a doll. I guess you can call this a doll, but no one's expecting anything high end from Hasbro any damn way. So Hasbro can do that. They can, because they walk in that realm. But Barbie, you walk in this realm. We have an expectation of you, ma'am. Okay, Mattel? You know what it is. Everyone is trying to be Mattel. Everyone's competing with Mattel. Everyone is trying to outdo Mattel. Everyone's trying to impress Mattel's fans. So you have a standard that you have set for yourselves as a company. You done spoiled your fan base. It's too late. We didn't tell y'all to do that. Y'all just, that's what y'all gave us. We see the quality that you guys can get to when y'all feel like putting some work in. But then you want to get lazy and make a bunch of weird stuff and try to repackage it under the guise of some familiar brand, right? Get everybody all excited and hyped up, then you go spend your money on it, and it's just a hunk of junk. Like, it's just nothing. It's nothing exciting about it. It looks very uninspired. It looks very boring. It looks very hackneyed. And I'm just like, how do you mess up classic Disney princesses? Like, how do you do that? It's so easy to keep repackaging it and selling it over and over and over. How did you mess that up? What are you doing? To this day, I don't think that I own any Disney princess face sculpts that are produced by anyone other than Disney Store. Like the Disney Store Classic Princess doll series, to me, those are the only dolls that exist right now that are a very close depiction of the characters from the movies that they're supposed to represent. And that's the only brand that I trust for those face sculpts right now. Everyone else, like Mattel, I had a lot of faith in them just because they're Mattel. But then when I saw the product, I'm like, ew. Ew. You're not even competing with Disney Store? Come on. Come on. At least the Disney Store dolls have very inferior joints. I mean, they're not all that, but they have some joints. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing, Mattel? Like, they need to stop. Do the princess dolls look like the edits of the princesses from the Wreck-It Ralph movie? It might. I actually really love the comfy princesses from Ralph Breaks the Internet. Yeah, I like the look. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much that can be done, you guys. So much more creative things they could do. Like, even if they just did something like that, where they basically just did like a remake of those princesses from the movie, and they kind of had a version of that. I think Hasbro did that, but I didn't like Hasbro's execution because they're just too gosh, I wanted to say too cartoon-like, but that's not what I mean. It just looks very like babyish, like it looks very childish, so I wasn't into them. But I would have been into them if Mattel had done a better rendition of that, you know? If Mattel had created their own versions of that, that would have been dope. And they had good hair. Now, in the pictures that I saw, I think the hair quality for these dolls, for the Disney Store dolls, I mean the Disney Princess dolls, those, I think they look like in the pictures like they have decent hair, like they have regular saran, which I'm hoping is true, because some of these dolls in the pictures, like Barbie Extras, they be looking good in the pictures. Then you actually feel it in person. You're like, whoa, what is this? So I'm hoping that it's not just the pictures making them look that way, and that they are actually good quality hair. Because then, I guess if you're okay with the faces, like I think I saw Rapunzel's face didn't look that bad. She still don't look like a cartoon character, but she didn't look bad. And for me anyways, if I was to get those kinds of dolls, I'm not getting them for the Disney characters that they're supposed to represent. Like my Disney Store princess dolls, I have Pocahontas, Jasmine, I have Esmeralda, I have Merida, I have Tinkerbell, but none of them are those characters in my collection. So they're all redressed, rebodied. You know, they just look like regular girls walking down the street. And that's kind of what I'm going for with my collection anyway. I try to make my dolls just look like normal people, because they remind me of actual people that I know a lot of times, or they represent types of people that I wish that I actually did know. So I try to do that with my dolls. So that's why I said I like dolls that are like versatile. I could turn you into a fairy if I wanted to, but you also could pass for just a normal person that's just like my next door neighbor, you know? It would work either way. And that's what I want. And Mattel can do that. Mattel does do that. That's why when you, like, sometimes you guys will get those, like, Fairytopia dolls or mermaid dolls that Mattel creates that are very, very basic playline dolls for children. But y'all will pop them heads off, put it on a new body, restyle it, change the outfits, change the hairstyle, and she be looking brand new. She be looking like she about to go hit up them parties. She be looking like, yep, I'm about to go have a sleepover with my girlfriends. She just looked like a regular girl, even though she started off as a mermaid or a fairy. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Your creativity can bring that out of the doll. So that's what I would have liked for this series, even if the clothing sucked because it's supposed to be for kids. Blah. Even if the bodies are stiff because it's supposed to be for kids. Even if it didn't look exactly like the characters from the movie because it's supposed to be for kids. Even with all of that, if at least the faces were like attractive, pretty faces, reminds you very much of that character, you know, it's very believable that this is actually I don't know, whatever character it's supposed to be. This is actually Cinderella. It's close enough. It don't have to be exact, but it's close enough. It gives you the vibe. And I can turn it into a regular girl if I want to. I'm sold. I'll buy it. I'll try it. You know what I'm saying? And of course the hair has to be good. But you're not giving me nothing to work with, Mattel. Y'all gotta stop. You stopping yourself from making more money, because I will give you the money if you gave me a reason to. This is not enough of a reason. This is a waste of my damn time. Let's see. Let me see. BB's doll said, I do want a Naturalistas doll. I do too, if it wasn't a hot-ass mess. If it wasn't a hot mess, then yeah, bring it on. Which Barbie articulation do you prefer, Fashionista or MTM? How do you feel about polypropylene? I like to make my dolls versatile. Okay, so these are all comments from BB's dolls. And to answer you, my favorite articulation is Made to Move. I don't know if you can tell. Because of how few of my dolls happen to have Made to Move bodies. But my preference is a Made to Move body because I like the superiority of the double joints. Not necessarily because I like the way it looks. I don't necessarily like the way that it looks as far as articulation. No, I think they do look kind of chunky and clunky and robotic. I do, but I don't mind it because they're dolls. They're dolls. So, you know, if anyone can get away with looking robotic, it's a doll. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind it because the functionality. If it didn't have the functionality that it had and it looked like that, I would be very, very bothered. You know? But I don't mind it because it actually does what it's supposed to do, the joints. So, like, for example, there are some dolls that come with what I call like a semi-made-to-move body, and they'll have double joints everywhere except for, let's say, right up here. This thing won't pivot, it won't move, right? But the arm has the double joint here. And then when I try to like move the body parts in a certain way, it won't do everything that this body will do because I can rotate this part here, which gives it more expression. Some of those dolls, there's like limitations, even though it's a made to move body. And I don't like those kinds of bodies where there's no joint up here. Some of the dolls that have more like an athletic look, like for example, my not Wonder Woman. I'm thinking of Black Widow. Yeah, the Scarlett Johansson sculpt. Her normal body, like down here, her thighs, she doesn't have this rotating joint here. Although the sculpt that they used for her actual leg is beautiful. Like, I love the shape of the legs, the way that they look. So I like to put her in clothes that you can actually see the legs. They're like muscular, but not in like a manly kind of a way. It's very pretty looking. So I like that, but I don't like that the joint doesn't move because sometimes I need to be able to rotate it. So even though it's got a so-called made to move, you know, body sort of, but it's not really a made to move body in all of the functionality. So in that case, I'd be like, what's the point? Why did you give them double joints in the elbows and then she can't even move the body, the arms the same way that a regular made to move body can move? That's frustrating. So, you know, I'm picky about stuff like that. So for me, if I could get all the joints that a regular made to move body comes with, I'm okay with that. That's fine. I don't need her to be all exclusive looking and have all these beautiful sculpted body parts. Like, I don't need all of that. As long as I can give the doll some movement. That's my favorite kind of body type. Hi, Tevin. I see you up in here. And as far as the hair, the polypropylene hair, is that the stuff that they use on the Barbie Extras dolls? I'm not sure exactly which texture is the polypropylene. I get them kind of mixed up. But if it's not just regular saran like this, this is the tangle-free kind of hair that I'm thinking of, like, you're not impressing me. You're not impressing me. Sorry. I can tolerate certain textures of Barbie hair that isn't saran like this. I can tolerate it, but like, I still don't like it because I can't do everything I want to do with that hair. Like, for example, there's a type of hair, I don't know if it's nylon, I don't know what it's made out of, but it's very like straight. It's real straight, and then if you try to like tie it in a ponytail, the hair won't rest. It doesn't like relax. It just sticks up in the air like this because there's almost no weight to that hair. I don't know what that texture is called, but I have a few dolls that have that kind of hair that I got from like the early 2000s era. No, I don't like that hair. It's not horrible hair, and it's not tangly hair, which is good. And most of my dolls that I have that have hair like that, I only ever just keep their hair like straight down. I don't style it. I don't tie it. I don't do anything with their hair because it won't behave in the way that I need it to. It won't sit on the doll's head correctly. It'll just bother me. So I leave it alone. Like, see this hairstyle? How I got half of it up like this? But it's all just resting. It's flat, it's calm, it's relaxed. That texture hair that I'm talking about, if I try to do this, the hair will just stick out like this. And I'll be like, no. That's not what you're supposed, even